Fox Business Alert, take a look at shares of Oklo. They've kind of been bouncing around like charged particles, up, down, all around. Shares of the advanced nuclear tech firm right now are down about 3%, but they've been in the green a couple of times this session. This after the Department of Energy announced yesterday it has selected Oklo and its subsidiary Atomic Alchemy to build 3 of the department's 11 nuclear reactor pilot projects. The DOE says its goal is to, quote, construct, operate, and achieve criticality of at least 3 test reactors by America's 250th birthday, July 4th, 2026. The ramp-up in production of nuclear reactors comes amid a pretty harsh reality. The AI industry needs a massive amount of energy, more than the U.S. puts out currently, to power all the data centers that are being built right now. Is power delivery becoming just as important as compute capacity? My next guest says yes. Joining me now on a Fox Business exclusive is Onsemi CEO and President Hassane El-Khoury. Onsemi designs and manufactures chips for power management, sensing, analog applications, and more. Hassane, what is the gap right now, as you see it, in supply of energy versus demand? And how does Onsemi play into helping narrow that gap?
Yeah, so it's exactly what you said in the intro. There's a huge demand coming up. We're not even at the forefront of the build-out that we have to do for AI to keep that dominance that the president talked about. Therefore, there's this tug of war right now of how much compute can we put with the energy available to us, because we do have grid issues as far as we need to upgrade the grid. We do have the supply side of energy, which is not enough. And more importantly, the tug of war is between the residential areas where those AI data centers go and the AI data center. Who's going to win that tug of war with a limited resource like energy? And our view is, well, we can have both. We need more energy, absolutely correct. We have to build out the grid. We have to put more energy sources, but that's going to take time. We're talking in years. The AI build out is happening now. So we have to have smarter power. So every, call it unit of power, iota of power, is going to get us more compute on a unit consumed. That's the smart power that Onsemi does.
Okay, and how? How do you do what you say is, I'm sure you say you're best in class. There are a lot of other competitors, Infineon, Texas Instruments, ST Microelectronics, NXP Semi. What is it that gives you that special sauce or that advantage over those guys?
So a couple of things that are very unique to Onsemi is, I'll start with the breadth of the portfolio. So think about it this way. When we talk about powering the chip, the AI chip or the AI processor that is on a board in a server inside the AI data center, well, that power is going to start from the grid at high voltage. 400 going to 800 volts. You hear talk about 800 volts. We're number one in the 800 volt for automotive in the EV. EVs are already running on 800 volts. We've been in that business. We've been investing in advanced technologies that drive cars longer and higher range. And that is exactly the same chip that we can put in the AI data center. When I talk about portfolio, that's where the power comes in, and it goes all the way over 4, sometimes more conversions along the way before it gets to the processor. We are able to optimize every stage of that power with the density that is needed in order to have the better footprint. And the less footprint we use for power, the more footprint you can use for compute. Well, and we're able to do it from the edge of the data center to the chip.
I mean, NVIDIA just picked you guys 2 weeks ago in a deal that enables you to provide power solutions for next-gen AI data centers. So you're clearly doing something right if Jensen Huang thinks we got to sign a deal with Onsemi. But, as we look at the not necessarily crowded space, because it's really hard to start and put together what you do, your stock has lagged a little bit compared to some of the competitors. Why do you think that is? I mean, today it happens to be up more than 3%. That's great. But give me a sense of what message you need to get out to Wall Street and Main Street investors about Onsemi so that they start to look at this as a real option. I mean, you've got an automotive business that is very, very strong, is it not? How's that doing?
That's right. That's right. So if you think about the composition of our revenue, over 50% is automotive, followed by industrial, and then the data center is another bucket of growth. But there's something underlying the transformation that we've had over the last few years, which is not really typical to other some of our peers, which is we've been transforming the company from a broad base, a lot of general purpose semiconductors to really high value specialized semiconductors like power, like sensing in these markets that I mentioned. So while the top line may today not be reflecting that growth, what I said on the last earnings call, within that is not appearing yet because of that transformation where we're shedding some of the revenue that we really doesn't add value to our shareholders.
Okay.
Our AI data center revenue doubled year on year.
Okay.
That is the second quarter where it doubled year on year. It doubled year on year in Q1. It did it again in Q2. Automotive grew 23% in China for us. The rest of the world is still weak in automotive in general, but we have a leadership position there.
Last week, let me jump in because you just mentioned your automotive business, China, huge. Last week, President Trump said he will impose a 100% import tariff on semiconductors and chips, but said there will be exemptions. That's the good news for companies that manufacture in the U.S. You've got 5 facilities where you manufacture in the U.S.
That's right.
But you also manufacture in places that, last I checked, have tariffs slapped on them. Canada, Vietnam, China, Japan, South Korea, the Czech Republic, Philippines, Malaysia. How's that going to affect your bottom line? I mean, how are you modeling for that issue of tariffs?
Yeah, so we are an American company. We manufacture in the U.S., but we are also participating in a global economy where customers worldwide have a global footprint. The competitive advantage we have, and I mentioned that on last earnings, is really all these sites that you did mention, we have flexibility that we are able to change the mix within our manufacturing sites. To give you an example, we have the same things we do here in North America. We can also move and do whether in Japan or in Southeast Asia. We have a fab in Japan.
Okay.
So we are able to leverage our broad manufacturing footprint, of which a big portion of it, our biggest manufacturing site is here in North America. We're able to leverage that to service the customers where they need to be serviced, including a geographical distribution.
Well, it looks like you got a lot of bases covered, and it's very fascinating. You're at the tip of the spear when it comes to the power generation and the semis that make that happen. Hassane, thank you for joining us. Please come back. Good to see you.
Thank you.